channel. My name is Bria Elizabeth, and today I'm going to do a story time on my first fight. Alright, so let me give y'all a little bit of background story before I start the story. My first fight was in 8th grade, and I went to this high school in New Orleans called McDonald 35. And that was when we was in the old building off of Kellerick Street. If you went to that school, you know what I'm talking about. And they had this thing where if you was in 8th grade or in 7th grade, you had to wear yellow shirts to, I guess, what's the word? To, I guess, separate you from high school and middle school. So you had to wear like the yellow collared shirts, the polo shirts. So yeah, I was a yellow shirt when I first had my fight. And it was with this girl. So we're gonna call her Big P. So me and Big P, we were in the same class, but we weren't really friends. It was just like, oh yeah, she's my class. So yeah, we weren't friends. We were just associates. It was just, I knew her because she was in my class. She knew me because she was in my class. Okay, so one day, Big P and this girl that was my cousin, you know, okay. You know how you have cousins where it's like, that's your cousin because she's cousins of your other cousin. So they make y'all cousins.
Okay.
It was kind of like that, if that makes sense. So her and my cousin, they used to be friends, and then they weren't friends anymore. They didn't like each other anymore. And so my cousin, if you see her, like, I was tiny in 8th grade. Like, I'll put a picture here of how I looked in 8th grade. But I was tiny in 8th grade. But my cousin, she was even smaller than me. I will insert a picture, but I'm not going to do that to her. So, yeah, she was even smaller than me. So, Big P and my cousin, one day after school, it was the day before we was finna go on break for spring break. So my cousin and Big P, they stopped being friends with each other. They was friends at first, and now they're not friends anymore. So they stopped being friends with each other. So, them two, they got to arguing. You know how girls are, they're a little messy. They got to arguing or whatnot. And, I need to stop spinning. They had got to arguing or not over social media, as always. It was over Twitter. And then the next day, they both got to arguing in person. We was all at the school because my mom, she used to be running late to pick me up at the school. I was waiting on my mom to pick me up or whatnot. And then Big P and my cousin, they were arguing. We're going to call my cousin Layla. Okay. So my cousin and Big P were arguing with her after school. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's so interesting. This has nothing to do with me. So I'm just looking like I'm not saying anything because it has nothing to do with me. It's not like they finna fight or anything. They was just exchanging words back and forth, back and forth. And so my mom finally came and picked me up, and then I get home, and it was like, okay, I'm home. So I get home, I get on my phone, I go on social media, and like I get all these texts like, oh my God, this girl talking about you on Twitter or whatnot. And I'm not even type to fight. Like, y'all, I swear I've never fought my entire life. Like, I mean, I fought my brother and all, you know, like my cousins, but I've never had an actual fight. So I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, I don't know. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, Bria, like, can't be no punk. You don't have to fight this girl if she really want to fight you. So I'm like, okay, in my mind, get myself together. Like, I'm just going to fight her. So anyway, she was talking about me on social media, talking about how she was going to beat me up the next day and all of this. And I'm like, mind you, me and her weren't even arguing. We didn't have a problem. But she claimed since my cousin was so small and I was the next size up, that she was going to fight me instead of my cousin. That way it wouldn't look like she was bullying my cousin. But yeah, I'm still smaller than you because, y'all, she was like a hippo. Okay, I'm going to insert a picture of what she reminds you of. She was looking like a hippo. A bright yellow hippo. So yeah. And, yeah, so mind you, in middle school, I was probably like 100 pounds. And she was like a good 210, you know what I mean? So we're up.
I don't weigh no damn 300 pounds. I weigh 165. How you doing?
Oh yeah, she was talking about me on Twitter, talking about how she was gonna fight me and da-da-da and all this stuff. You know how girls are. But I'm not the type to argue. Like, y'all, if y'all know me, I cannot argue because, number one, my voice sounds like a whistle when I argue. Like, it gets really hot and like I get anxious and I start crying. Like, yeah, I cannot argue because like I be so mad that I can't even get my words out. So yeah, I'm not the type to argue. It's just like we're just gonna have to fight. It is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? I felt like she was kind of bullying me, so I'm like, whatever. So the next day I told my mom, like, hey Mom, like, I think this girl wanna fight me, so if you get a call, just knowing that's because I'm suspended. Right, that's crazy. I told my mom I'm finna get suspended, but I was like, I'm finna get suspended. So, if this girl wanna fight me. So, anyway, fast forward the next day, you know, I took my hair out, like, because I had weave in. I'm like, I don't want my hair to get pulled, so I'm like, I took all my weave out, because y'all, you know, back then, like, if you would have fought and your hair would have felt like, they would have automatically instantly be like, oh my God, you lost. Oh, dang, she put your hair out, you know what I mean? So I took all my hair out. The next day, I just had my hair pulled back and up, like, y'all, I didn't even wear the full uniform because I knew I was going to fight that day. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't care about getting dress code or anything. So, yeah. So, I get to school or whatever, and we had, I think it was like 3rd period together. Because some of my classes, I didn't have with the people that was in my actual grade because I took higher level classes. So, the class that we did have, she was in it. So, fast forward to 3rd period or whatever. Gets 3rd period, you know. She said, like, okay, I'm sitting here, right? And she's sitting all the way back there. So mind you, I'm like trying to watch my back, make sure she ain't feel like me or nothing. So I'm like, and you know when you're so mad, you just be sitting there and you just be shaking your leg and it's like your nerves bad. That's how it was like. So yeah, I could not focus. Like, I couldn't focus on any of my work because in my mind, I'm just like, when we gonna fight? Like, I'm already ready. Like, I'm getting pumped up. My cousin sit next to me, like, I'm ready to fight. You know what I mean? So we didn't fight in class, but she started, like, trying to yell. And y'all, mind y'all, I told y'all I am not the fussing type. So I'm like, whatever it is, what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't argue. So I'm like, what you gonna do, girl? What you gonna do? You know, I'm not gonna say the words that I'm saying because, you know, I got family members watching this. But, you know what I mean? We was exchanging words back and forth. So, then, finally, the teacher, like, they had this thing, they was trying to do peer mediation in the school or whatever. So, we, went to the guidance counselor office, and they was like, y'all both getting suspended. Regardless of if y'all didn't fight, y'all getting suspended for causing confrontation in a class. So, mind you, I'm like, if I'm getting suspended, we might as well fight, you know what I mean? I'm getting suspended for it anyway, and we didn't fight, so, like, we might as well fight. So, we both had the same lunch, and, like, I don't know what it is, but our guidance counselors are dumb. If y'all know we had the same lunch, why would you let us go to lunch knowing we already want to fight each other, you know what I mean? So, you let us go to lunch or whatever. We get to lunch, and so, like, I don't want no food, I don't want nothing, and they're like, you know how people be trying to buck your head up in the background, so my cousins in there, they're like, yeah, bro, just go run up on her. Just go run up on her. Just go run up on her. Yeah, hit her first before she hit you. You know what I mean? So, I'm like, all right, bet. So, because if she would hit me first, y'all, I would have lost this fight. Because I'm telling y'all, she was a good 210. And I'm like a good 100 pounds. You know what I mean? That's double my size. So, I'm like, I'm gonna hit her first, you know what I mean? And y'all, people used to make fun of my voice because I was a new kid and I had just moved back to New Orleans from Tennessee, so I had a country accent. So y'all, like, it was funny. She was getting her food or whatever, and so I'm like, you know what, fuck. I'm like, you know what, forget it. Like, let me just get this over with. So I walk up to her and I'm like, so, like, what you want to do? Like, do you still want to fight? You know what I mean? Acting all hard and stuff, but yeah, I am. Anyway, so I'm like, what you want to do? You want to fight or whatever? So, you know what I mean? And she like, what you trying to do? So I'm like, what you trying? So I see her ball her fist up. And next thing I know, I'm like, you know what? She finna hit me off guard. So, you know, I might as well go ahead and handle it. So, I'm like, I'm too goofy. I'm sorry. So, I'm like this, right? So, I'm like, all right, so we finna do this, so I'm like, you know, we started fighting, so then, all I remember is, she had grabbed my hair like this, and I'm like, let my hair go, let my hair go, let my hair go, let my hair go, let my hair. So, yeah, so I hate girls that be pulling hair. So, yeah, I'm like, let my hair go, whatever. I hate girls that be pulling hair. So, remind you, y'all, she's still 210, so we got on the ground, y'all. We over there rustling and tussling. Like, we got on the ground. And, like, I'm like, hey, somebody gonna break this up. Like, I'm tired of fighting up. Like, I done got my licks in. I done whooped her. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm ready to go home. Like, suspend me, wrapped up. So, the security guards finally get there, y'all. Instead of them getting her off me, they gonna pull me. And then he sat on top of me, y'all. The security guard sat on top of me. He like a good 210, too. Sat right on my belly. So, I'm like... ain't this some stuff like, get her, she the big one, get her, you know what I mean? So he sat on top of me, like, and I'm like, I'm cussing the security guard, I'm like, I'm gonna get my mom and dad to whoop you, sitting on my stomach, I'm telling you I can't breathe, get up off me. Yeah, like, that, it was, my adrenaline was rushing, so I'm like, you know, just get up off me, like, I can't breathe right now, you sit on top of my stomach. So, mind you, so I'm like looking over like at them. So finally another security guard came and got her or whatever. And y'all, like her butt crack was out. I'm telling y'all, her butt crack was out, right? And so like my friends and them, they started pouring milk. They was rough for this. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I'm sorry. They was rough for this. They started pouring milk down her butt crack. And like, I don't know why, but it was just funny because I'm like, what the hell? Like, y'all could have been doing something, you know what I mean? But they did. So like, anyway, so the fight was over or whatever. Like, I got my lip. She was like, she don't catch me again when we get back to school. So I'm like, it is what it is. I already whooped you. So like, if you feel play, we can fight again. You know what I mean? So then we both in the principal office at this time, and I'm like, bro, like I really could just run up on her right now again. Like, y'all, mind you, my adrenaline still rushing. So I'm like, I really could run up on her again. So we get to the principal office. He's like, was she bullying you? I'm like, yeah, like I don't even know her. She was arguing with my cousin, and she said she wanted to fight me. So like, yeah, like she was bullying me. You know what I mean? So I got suspended, but it didn't go on my record or nothing. So I wasn't even tripping about it. They made me write up a little bullying report or whatever, and that was about it. And then like, yeah, and a lot of people, they were shocked because they're like, oh my god, the new girl fighting, oh my god, what? So like, yeah, like every time I go to new school, somebody always trade me because I'm a new girl, and I don't know why. When I'm really so nice, but like, yo, I be having like a resting bee face. You know what that is? When you just like, yeah. So I mean, I couldn't help it. You know, that's just my personality. Unless you speak to me, I won't speak to you. You know what I mean? I won't acknowledge you in the room unless you acknowledge me. That's just how I am. So yeah, the fight was over or whatever. You know, people send you the videos and all that. I wish I still had this video, but y'all, that was so long ago. Like, I'm a sophomore in college now. You know what I mean? That was all way 8th grade, so I don't have it. But yeah. Alright, so that's the end of my story time. I hope you guys like it. Make sure you give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and follow all of my social medias in the description box below.